And I'm going to take just a moment to give you guys a brief explanation on something that's very, very, very important if you're looking to purchase property here on the island, and that's flood insurance. Let me just say that I'm giving you advice based on our experiences here. I'm not an insurance agent. If you have any specific questions, just let us know. We'll get you to a qualified insurance agent if you don't have one, and let the pros do their job. With that said, on our island, there's two major types of flood zones and two major types of flood insurance. One is the federal flood zone, and the second is the COBRA zone. Now, in a federal flood zone, the federal government will back the flood insurance company when they make a claim. That keeps the rate lower because the insurance company, so to speak, has a partner in it. The second type is a COBRA zone. Now, a COBRA zone, the federal government says we're not helping you pay anything. So therefore, the rate goes dramatically higher. Flood insurance companies 100% exposed. Where did the COBRA zone come from? Why did the federal government step out of it? In the early 80s, there was a movement to discourage growth on barrier islands, and the Congress and the government set forth the COBRA zone, Coastal Barrier Resource Act. And what that said is if an island doesn't meet certain development plateaus at this time, we're going to not back the flood insurance company in hopes of prohibiting the growth because the flood insurance rates will go higher. Well, fast forward 30 some years, didn't work like they planned. North Topsail is very well developed. People just pay more for their flood insurance there. Inside of the federal flood and the COBRA, you also have letter codes: A zones, V zones, VE zones, X zones. What these designate is the chance that the property is going to flood based on FEMA's 100-year floodplain maps. The lesser the chance, the lesser the rate. The higher the chance, the higher the rate. Just because a property is in the COBRA zone does not mean it's more apt to flood than a property in the federal flood zone. It just means federal government's not going to back it. Where the chance of flooding comes from, again, is in the letter codes. A zones, AE zones are going to be your lower rate properties, lesser chance of flooding. Your V zones, your VE zones, V stands for velocity. That pretty much tells the story there. You're going to get higher rates. On our island, if you're in the Roger Bay neighborhood, north of that, you're going to see some COBRA zones. Most of that's going to be COBRA zone. There'll be some spot areas that will have federal flood. There's a few isolated places on the mainland that is COBRA. So what we do to ensure that we know what you're buying is, number one, we get an elevation certificate if one's available. You can also have a surveyor do that. Number two, we send you over to NorthCarolinaFloodMaps.com. We get copies of the seller's insurances so we can get an idea of the rates, and best of all, we get you to a qualified insurance agent to be able to assist you in that. So that's the kind of guidance that we give on the flood zones. If you guys have any questions, feel free to give us a call. If we can't point you in the right direction, we will get you to somebody who can. Happy hunting for that beach home, and we look forward to helping you.